Trust is one of the most important pillars in any relationship. But what happens when it's broken? Well, many times, the discovery of infidelity is something very frustrating or disappointing for the wronged party. Whether through undeleted messages, being caught at the wrong moment, or even through a delivery order, the truth often reveals itself in the most surprising and unusual ways. A man who had already been suspecting his wife due to her behavior, and because she was always asking him to stay with their daughter while she did overtime at work. He then decided to investigate and discovered the worst. With the help of some friends, he realized that indeed, his wife was cheating on him with a man. And to reveal to her that he knew, he decided to go after her precisely at the moment when she would meet with her lover. To cause even more guilt on his wife's conscience, the man decided to bring their daughter along. And when he was already near the place where his wife met with the lover, more precisely in a park, he made a video call. The wife answered, showing only her face, to hide where she was and with whom she was. But she hardly imagined that her husband was there with their daughter seeing everything, and thus he makes a point of showing that he was there watching everything, much to the wife's despair. She stands up, turns around, notices the husband with the daughter inside the car, and tries to go after them. However, the father speeds up the car and leaves with the daughter, leaving the wife behind. Everything was recorded by a person who was also accompanying them inside the car. Now it was a woman's turn to discover her husband's infidelity and surprise him inside a motel while he was enjoying the room with his lover. Suspicious, the wife began to investigate the husband, and with the help of friends and by taking his cell phone when he wasn't looking, she discovered that he had been conversing with a woman and had arranged to meet her at a motel. And worse, he would pay her for the meeting. To catch him red-handed, the woman waited for the day he would meet, went to the motel, and managed to catch the two in the room right at the moment of the act.
Sou homem da minha vida, tu me decepcionou, não quero mais saber de ti nunca mais. Nunca mais, nunca mais.
Everything was recorded by her and shared on social networks. In the images, she appears entering the room and coming face to face with the startled husband. She insults him, states that the relationship was over, and even assaults him. The influencer Sabrina Lowe discovered that she was cheated on by her ex-boyfriend in an unusual way. She and her ex-boyfriend are vegans, but she noticed that there was an order for a pepperoni pizza made from the guy's delivery app. When confronted about the possible betrayal, the boyfriend even tried to justify himself and give an explanation, but ended up confessing that the order was made by another woman, leaving his girlfriend completely devastated upon realizing that she was being cheated on. She reported that she couldn't believe what was happening. After all, they always talked about the importance of being vegans and that it was part of their values as people. She also emphasizes that she had fallen in love with him precisely because of that. Seeing that pepperoni pizza order was like taking a punch since she knew it wasn't for him. The influencer's enormous disappointment made her rethink a lot about new relationships, and that's why she reported wanting to enjoy life by herself and take a break from a two-person relationship, as she had already been frustrated enough. The husband who left home to play soccer with his friends was surprised when he returned home and caught his wife with another man inside the house. He had gone out to play soccer as he always did every week, but that day, for some reason, the fun on the field with friends ended earlier than usual, and upon returning home a little earlier, he realized that his wife was also having fun, but in another way, more specifically with a man, her lover, inside the house. The two were locked inside, and the husband, who upon arriving home already sensed something strange, managed to catch the two.
Acabei de pegar o seu Carlos aqui com a Josi, eu sabia. Acabei de pegar a Josi aqui, entendeu? Aqui, olha, gente.
In the video, the lover and the wife seemed to try to hide but are filmed. The husband seemed to know the lover, whom he called Mr. Carlos. According to information, Mr. Carlos was known to the family and lived in the neighborhood. A man began to suspect his wife, who was showing up at home with some designer bags, attending the gym and college, even though they were in a not very comfortable financial situation. Realizing that something was wrong, after all, the woman also couldn't afford all that through her job. He started to investigate and discovered that, in fact, the wife was going out and being funded by an elderly man. A betrayal is already quite painful. Imagine then discovering that your wife is cheating on you with an elderly man who practically pays for it, sponsoring her. Well, it must not be pleasant. In a recording, upon discovering everything, the man films the wife at home and shows himself completely indignant with the situation.
Essa mulher aqui, ó, é uma mulher sem vergonha, ganhando bolsa de 3 mil. sendo bancada pelo velho aí, ó. E ela joga na minha cara falando que o meu salário não dá pra comprar nem papel aqui pra dentro de casa.
The embarrassed wife hides behind her hair since there was no way to justify herself. The husband also reveals that whenever he questioned her about the bags and expenses, she said they were borrowed from friends and that she was receiving help from family members. However, in reality, everything was funded by the elderly lover. A woman received some anonymous tips that her husband was cheating on her and decided to investigate the situation. After all, she had also been suspecting due to some behaviors, and thus she was more surprised than expected with the discovery. Upon investigating the husband, she discovered that he was exchanging very hot messages and meeting with an anonymous person. She then found out the place where they would meet and followed the husband. Upon arriving there, she saw the husband in the car with another person, who, to her surprise, was another man. That's right, the husband was cheating on her with another man, which made her even more outraged. She approaches the car, filming everything at the moment when the man who was in the passenger seat gets out, and even seems to mock the wife. He leaves while the wife keeps insulting the husband.
Tempo todinho contigo e tu aqui o gatinho dele, ó. Ó aqui, gatinho, ó aí, parabéns pra vocês. Paulinho, Paulette, tu é Paulette. Tu é Paulette! Tu é Paulette!
The outraged wife uses offensive terms to insult the husband who was cheating on her with another man. The scene, which was shared by her with the intention of exposing the husband, quickly went viral on social networks. A woman went viral on TikTok by showing her husband cheating on her when she was 9 months pregnant. The incident, filmed by Kelly Smith, took place on a beach in the United States. After discovering that her husband was enjoying a beach with another woman while she was at home experiencing pregnancy pains, she got angry and decided to confront him. Upon arriving at the location, Kelly approached the husband, seen sitting with another woman and the couple's dog. Filming everything, she asks the husband who that woman was while asserting herself as his 9-month pregnant wife to the mistress, who becomes startled. After the shock, the mistress reveals that she had been informed by the man that he was getting a divorce, but the wife states that it was a lie from him, much to the mistress's surprise. Kelly revealed that the scene occurred in April 2023. Since then, divorce proceedings against the husband are underway. According to Kelly, the ex-husband hasn't seen their 2 daughters since the incident and is not paying child support. An affair that happened in Belo Horizonte, the capital of the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais, gained traction on social networks in 2018. It all started when a man became suspicious of his wife and decided to check her cell phone. Noticing suspicious messages, he began to believe that he was being cheated on by his beloved Fabiola. To clear his doubts and find out the true story, the guy followed his wife, and the trail led him to a motel in the city of Contagem, near the capital of Minas Gerais in Brazil. The surprise was even greater when he discovered that she was with his best friend. Angry and trying to explain what was happening, Fabiola's companion, known as Leo, talked to the husband, but it was to no avail. Outraged and inconsolable, he had a moment of fury and began to destroy the car. He then went to talk to his wife, who tried to hide her face to avoid being filmed. The iconic phrase said by the husband, "Went to do nails, huh, Fabiola?" ended up becoming one of the most talked about topics on the internet at the time.
O que você arrumou comigo, velho? O que você arrumou comigo, senhor?
O que vocês vieram fazer aqui?
Nós viemos conversar.
Ah, aqui conversar no motel, só para. Aqui, ó, no motel aqui, ó, Fabíola e o Léo. Bonito demais.
The man who recorded the scene, a friend of the husband, managed to prevent him from continuing to break everything and held him back. The lover claimed that he had gone to the motel just to talk to Fabiola, something completely senseless, which made the husband even more furious. The video went viral in a short time, and Fabiola's story became famous. The biggest comment on social networks is about the excuse given by the woman. She left home claiming that she was going to do a client's nails but ended up at the motel. Again, we have here a husband suspicious of his wife, who was going to work on some days of the week earlier than usual. The reason? Apparently there wasn't one. But this happened on random days and at different times. The husband, then suspicious, simply decided to follow his wife, who was supposedly going to work. The woman stops on the street and waits for someone to arrive. The husband stays behind a truck already filming with his cell phone. Then his friend appears on a motorcycle and his wife gets on the back. He just discovered that his wife was cheating on him with his friend.
Bonito, hein? Lindo pra vocês dois. Era isso que eu queria descobrir, né, Flávio? Brigou não, isso é conversa só faz tempo que eu vejo, ó. Rapaz, vocês dois fazendo um negócio desse comigo, você dizendo que é meu amigo, meu irmão. Você é amigo de ninguém.
The husband calmly walks towards the two on the motorcycle, filming, and says that he already suspected that he said he was a friend, but in reality was a backstabber. The husband also states that people had been telling him that the wife was going to meet with the man, getting a ride, to go to that very place you're imagining. A man suspicious of his wife decided to set a trap to catch her in the act. He arrived home earlier from work and didn't notify the wife. When he entered the house, he was already filming with his cell phone because he knew that the lover would be there. Said and done, both caught in the act. The man becomes outraged, cursing, calling the man shameless. He also tells the wife that she destroyed their family, since surely he would end the relationship with her. The wife and the lover try all the time to take the cell phone from his hand to delete the recording, but he doesn't let them.
Sai fora, doido.
Para com isso.
Você sai fora. Eu sabia que eu ia pegar vocês. Eu sabia, cara. Tá ferrada? Tá nada. É só isso que eu queria ver. Pode continuar aí. Pode fazer um amorzinho gostoso de vocês.
The lover starts putting on his clothes to leave. The wife even calls the husband love while he insults her. In the video, the husband even says that he had tried several days to catch them in the act, but never could. This time, he succeeded. The video ends with the husband kicking both the lover and the wife out of the house. Imagine you're walking down the street and come across two women fighting, one calling the other vulgar names. You would surely think it's a wife confronting her husband's mistress, but in fact, they are two mistresses, one jealous of the other and outraged. The woman who is filming is outside the car, insulting the woman inside, telling her to get out since she wanted to confront her, basically have a fight. The woman just stays inside the car looking with a mocking face and not caring much. Apparently, what happened was that the man went out in the car with mistress number 2, parked to buy something, and mistress number 1 found her inside the beloved's car.
Tá com medo? Sai do carro. É. Vai sair não? Tá bom. Vou esperar ele chegar. E aí, Fred, você tem o que pra falar comigo?
Nada.
Nada? Parabéns.
É o quê?
Ótimo.
Tô trabalhando.
Tá trabalhando? Ótimo. Ó, tô mandando pra sua mulher isso aqui, tá?
It's a bizarre situation, the mistress insulting the other mistress as if she were married to the man, but in the end, both played the same role, in this case, deceiving his wife. Imagine you're walking down the street and come across your father, walking hand in hand with his mistress in the neighborhood where he lives, for everyone to see them together. This happened to the guy who was filming this video. In the images, you can see the man insulting the father, calling him shameless, and the mistress right beside trying to defend him. The man keeps insulting, and the father just gives a thumbs up along with the mistress to the video, showing no shame and not demonstrating any remorse. The man also says that his father would never enter his house again, and that he didn't want to see him anymore.
Pra todo mundo. Casar nunca, tu vai casar, tu nunca vai pisar na minha casa. Nunca vai pisar na minha casa.
The video ends with the man calling his father a shameless scoundrel, and the father showing no emotion, just walking away with his mistress down the street. It's not known exactly how the story ended, but surely this video reached the mother, who must have ended the relationship with him. A husband discovered in the worst possible way that the motorcycle Uber that his wife took every day to go to work was actually the Love Moto Uber, because the two were simply having an affair. Somehow the husband found this out. Apparently at first the man was really a motorcycle Uber, but got involved with the client, and her husband discovered everything. Outraged by this situation, the husband decided to surprise before the wife went to work and greet the Love Moto Uber with a piece of wood. A fight broke out. The husband was furious and went after him, and neighbors nearby had to separate the fight. In the end, it's not known where the wife was, as she didn't appear in the video. All this happened in the Realengo region, a neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.